So if you're selling B2B, it's very likely you have CRM set up. We recommend HubSpot, very powerful software. Sometimes it can be a little difficult to connect it to Shopify. There is a connector that you can install and it just pulls all your customers over and keeps your data synchronized. But often if you're doing wholesale stuff, you have sales reps that are going to be creating orders and you want to be able to track those orders so that you can either attribute them commission or you can find out how successful they're being and so on and so forth. So this case study here is about how we set up Shopify and HubSpot in order to track those deals together. So I'm going to walk through what we did in order to get it done. We use three softwares. We use Shopify as the place where the orders are getting created. And then we use Zapier in order to connect them to Shopify, and I'll walk through that flow. And then we used a HubSpot sales pipeline in order to track the deals of what stages they are in. All right, so starting off, when someone goes into Shopify, or a sales rep goes into Shopify and they go and they create an order, they go and they add a product. So we're going to go and add a product in here. Let's see, can I search for one? Yeah, I can. Okay, I'm going to go add some custom hats to my order. And down below, we added a meta field, and this meta field has the sales rep's email address. The reason we went and did that is I needed a primary key to match the order in draft orders to the deal owner inside of HubSpot. And the way I went and set that up is I basically went and created a meta field. So let's discard this here and we'll go and show you how to do that. So you go to settings and you go to meta fields and meta objects, and then you go to draft orders. And then I created a new definition. And this new draft order basically is sales representative. It's a single line text order, but I set it to lists of fields. So I could predefine what the list choices were beforehand. So all the people had to do was select it from a drop-down menu. I then went and dropped in their email addresses into the choices here, and I can always go add more items later on if I onboard new sales representatives. Once I hit save to that, and if I go back to drafts and I go create draft order, we've got this option to add in a sales rep, which will attach a meta field to that draft order. So when it's created, we can assign it on the other side. All right, so we went through, we created the draft order. The next thing we wanted to do is in Zapier, we want to grab that order that got created. So you have to be on a Zapier premium account in order to be able to access Shopify's connector. But once you've done that, you can go in and go new draft order. It's going to go and grab the order. It's going to grab it from the store that I've connected to. And then we have to do a little bit of a formatter. And the reason we want to format this is because if I go and edit here, you'll see that the input that we're trying to pull from is a meta field. And that meta field node value is the first meta field on draft orders. But as you can see, it comes in and it's formatted with JSON. So it's got brackets around it, and then it's got quotation marks around it, and then it's got its value in it. And what we want to do is we just want to pull out that email address so that we can use it to look up the user on the next step. So we go test, it pulls out the email address. We've got the email address that we want to use, and then we move on to getting the owner. So there's a HubSpot connector inside of Zapier, which allows you to go and get the owner of a specific contact. So if that contact has been assigned to that owner, then it's going to match up with the sales order that got created. So we go and we grab the output. So under our custom fields here, we grab the output of the text formatter by Zapier. We grab that output. We have it configure and test and search for the contact. It will go and find the search for the owner of the contact, and then it'll give us the owner ID. And this is the important part. This is what we need. We need to get the owner ID. Now, if you just go and look up a contact in Shopify, you'll get a different ID. You'll get the contact ID. Owner IDs and contact IDs, they are different. So you want to make sure you're looking up the owner. Once we've done that, then we can go over to create a deal. So we can then go and grab some of those fields. So we can grab the first name, the last name, the quantity of order. That's what we put in the title. We select our pipeline. We select the stage it's now in. We put in the price, so the price that it's going to be listed into the deal. Now we want to list it without taxes in there, so we want to grab subtotal. And then finally, down at the bottom, we can go and search for it because there's a lot of fields in HubSpot that you can use. So if I go deal owner, we can see a deal owner information is attached to that ID that we grabbed from the get owner last stage. So if we go, I think if we go here plus, we can see we got this deal owner and their user ID here. Once we've gone and done that and run the zap, then in our deals, when an invoice gets sent, a draft order gets sent, we automatically drop the invoice in here. We can come down and we can see deal owner. Let's see here. Does it have, can I search these fields or do I have to open the record? Let's open the record. We can see the deal owner is set to that email address that I set on the previous page. And that's how we connected Shopify to HubSpot in a B2B situation, so that whenever someone creates a draft order, and specifically a sales rep creates a draft order, there's a record of it tracked inside of HubSpot, so that you can now use HubSpot to go and run your reports to find out what commissions you owe to your sales reps and what deal stages they are in. All right, that's everything for this one. If you guys would like some help setting this up for your company, we'd be lovely to help you out. You can either go to our website, sunbolt.ca, or click on the book a call button, and we'd be happy to chat with you. All right, that's everything for this one. Hope you guys are having a great day.